Okay, so remind me again, what is bodily autonomy? In short, it's the right that every person has to make decisions about their own body. Like how I decide if I undergo a procedure. Or like how I only hug my child with their okay. Or like how you decided what you ate today and how much of it you ate. It's all you. Your body is yours, and so only you get to make decisions about it. But I make decisions about my kid's body all the time. I mean, they're 10 months, so they can't make decisions, and even if they could, they would not be good ones. You're right, there are exceptions. There are times when someone's bodily autonomy and body rights will need to take a backseat. Like when it comes to matters of health and safety is a big one, right? You have to make sure your child has a clean diaper, is not sitting in their own stuff for too long. You have to make sure that they are strapped into their car seat safely, even if they don't want to be, things like that. But even in those cases, there are still ways to scaffold their autonomy and respect their boundaries as much as possible. Talk to me. Sometimes it can be a simple adjustment, letting them hold their favorite toy while you change their diaper, or adjusting the straps on the seatbelt so they're more comfortable. Give them some choice and collaborate when you can. Validating their emotions and giving them a heads up before you do the thing also helps. Don't make them feel like they're crazy for not liking a choice that's thrust upon them. We don't like when that happens to us, and they don't like it either. Wait, does making them eat their fruits and vegetables count as a health and safety thing? Well, yes and no. I'm not a nutritionist, but it's important that kids are getting all of the nutrients that they need. But from what I've learned, it's more about looking at the big picture rather than individual meals or individual days. Of course, talk to your doctor or nutritionist if you have any concerns or questions, but also remember all those times that you ate ice cream for dinner. Okay, what about getting a kid's ears pierced though? Yeah, I mean, my parents got my ears pierced when I was a baby, and I'm glad they did. I'm so glad you liked that decision. And also, if you want to teach a child that their body is theirs, best practice is to wait. Let them make that choice. Okay, but I have a tricky one for you. Let's hear it. What are your thoughts about a brit milah? A brit what? A brit milah. It's a Jewish ritual of circumcision. If a baby is identified as having a schmeckle, they remove the foreskin from that schmeckle when they are 8 days old. Whoa, big decision. Yeah, I'm glad you asked this question because this is hard to address. It used to be believed that circumcision was done for health and safety reasons, Jewish or not. But as long as the schmeckle owner has good hygiene practices, it's really not an issue. This means that circumcision, for any reason, does violate bodily autonomy in a pretty huge way. And I want to say that it seems like you're specifically asking about when religious law conflicts with bodily autonomy practices. I don't have the perfect answer, but for me, when religion starts to encroach on bodily autonomy, that's where I get a little... But I also understand that there are religious reasons to do so, and I am not everyone. Here's what I'll say as someone who grew up in a religious home but is not religious now. I think it's really important that in this situation, you recognize that there are competing values. You are making a decision for your child, and your child might come to you later and be like, I'm not happy about that decision you made for me. And that means you might need to be accountable in some way or apologize for the choices that you made. Instead of doubling down, you might say, I understand why you're upset. I took these things into consideration, and I thought that this would be the choice that we would all feel good about, and I'm hearing now that it's not, and I'm sorry for that. Dang, this is complicated. Yeah, talking to your kid about bodily autonomy is one thing, and making decisions when bodily autonomy is on the line is another. I mean, just think about babies who are born with hearing disabilities. Again, not a doctor, but when a child is born deaf or has a hearing disability, my understanding is that a parent needs to decide pretty early on whether to give that child a cochlear implant or not. Because of how the brain develops, it's a time-sensitive decision, and you need to choose which values to uphold. These questions are so great. This is complicated stuff. If you're looking for support in navigating consent and bodily autonomy in conjunction with health, hygiene, and safety, check out my on-demand class.